my boy Bill, he'll be tall and as tough as a tree. Will Bill, like a tree, he'll...
Greetings from the bowels of hell. I have to tell you, this is something you couldn't make up. The inefficiency, the lack of care, the dreadfulness of it all, the obstructiveness, the doctrinaire, dogmatic way that they approach. Now, it has to be said, an awful lot of the staff are lovely. So, let's plunge in with what QPR has to say. Lady C, this is more than one question, and I'm going to answer each one individually. So, what do you make of William threatening Beatrice and Eugenie unless they pressurize their father into moving from Royal Lodge? Well, insofar as I am aware, William said to his cousins, if you don't get your father to move out of Royal Lodge, you are going to lose your titles. So William knows that his uncle would move heaven and earth to make sure that those girls don't lose their titles. And so that was good leverage. And William, as I have said before, and I have said this as praise, is ruthless. And he is certainly tough, and he certainly knows how to implement what he wishes to have done. And what he wishes to have done in this instance is to draw a line in the sand under all of the dramas surrounding his uncle and aunt, because he recognizes that it's doing nobody any good to have Andrew and Sarah the focus of such negative attention. It also has to be said that behind the scenes, it is said that Catherine is very much made of metal as opposed to metal, and she has a backbone of steel as well, and she and William function as one. So it would appear that she is also behind the pressure being put on the York girls so that they can pressurize their father into really relenting to the press. Now, I actually think that the way Andrew is being hounded is somewhat inappropriate when you think he has committed no crime and nobody else involved with Epstein, certainly not Bill Clinton or Bill Gates, who were both sufficiently Epsteinian that in fact Melinda Gates said that his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, his being Bill Gates' friendship with Epstein, is the thing that, one of the main things that broke up their marriage. Well, I don't know what that tells you, but I know what it tells me. And it tells me that Bill was a very naughty boy, getting up to very naughty things, and that when Melinda found out about it, she was outraged. Well, it's cost him billions, but you notice nobody involved from the American side has suffered any adverse consequences, except, of course, Bill Gates, who had to cough up several million to the mother of his children. Billion. to his mother, to the mother of his children. So ultimately, you could say they're getting their inheritance in a slightly circuitous way. But let's see, the next part is, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about Meghan, Harry, and the kids making pumpkins for Halloween. Yeah. Meghan will do anything to keep her name in the news. And she's been very canny. She's been very clever. As usual, she's been too clever by half and stupid by whole. Because what has she done? She has posted the faces of the two children blurred out. Now, the mere fact that those children's faces were blurred out tells me, I don't know what it tells you, but it tells me that she very deliberately posted it, blurred them out enough, which again shows how devious, manipulative, and stupid she is. Because if it had been a genuine, accidental posting, the pictures of the children would not be blurred out. They are blurred out because there is no accident about it. And she kept it up long enough for it to go viral and then took it down. Oopsie days, made a big mistake. Am I not so terrible that I have violated my own children's privacy? It's all about and I didn't intend to. I'm innocent. It really has nothing to do with me. It's just one of those things that happens. Yeah. And of course, we're fools. Unfortunately, I don't have any of my pigs here with me. Otherwise, I'd have at least one or two of them whizzing across so that we could see pigs flying left, right, and center. Oh, I'm also asked to comment on Liz Jones in the Mail on Catherine, and Catherine being ruthless. And that Emily Maitlis said on her news agent's podcast that she's giving Catherine credit for helping things along. I haven't seen it and I don't intend to see it. I actually do not approve of Emily Maitlis. So I wouldn't be, therefore, giving her a leg up. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I read Liz Jones's piece in the Mail. I have no doubt that, in fact, she's right. Catherine is, shall we say, resolute and stalwart. She used the word ruthless. She certainly is resolute and stalwart. And she's resolute and stalwart not only with other people, but with herself as well. That's right. She definitely has a very resolute streak in her nature. And she doesn't cut anybody any slack, including herself, which, in fact, is fortunate, because had she cut herself more slack than she does, she would never have discovered that she had cancer. I make that point for what it's worth. Julie Quinlan says, I'm so sorry, Lady C. My mum broke her pelvis, and I know how painful that type of accident is. I wish you a speedy recovery, but I know that it will take a while and will impact you greatly. So has anybody rescued your lovely dogs and car? Yes, I phoned my son Dima. He came, he picked up the dogs, he picked up the car, he drove the car with the dogs down to Castle Goring. He handed them over to Misha, who's taking care of them now, while I am in the hospital being buggered around royally. It's now over 2 days since this accident took place, and every time I move, I re-break the pelvis. And because I re-break the pelvis, because every time you move, since it's not secured, it re-breaks. Every time I re-break it, it goes into spasm. The doctor explained it to me. The muscles go into spasm. So that becomes a huge thing, because it's not that the break is just painful. The muscles seize up, the whole thing goes into spasm, and then you have to wait for it to relax. They have given me morphine, etc., etc. Yes, what is it?
Medicine?
Sorry?
Evening medication.
If
Just
you'd like to bring it, please do.
Sorry?
If you want to bring the medication, please do.
Just morphine and your blood thinners.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So you got your enoxaparin.
What is that?
This is the injection for the tummy or the arm. It's a blood thinner.
Okay, so do it wherever. I prefer not in the tummy, thank you.
Sure. I'm just gonna put in the arm then.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sharp scratch. Sorry, darling.
No problem. It's fine.
Just gonna put it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Well done. You did good.
Thank you.
And then this is on the right arm. And then this one's your painkiller. It's
Sorry?
the morphine. It's a painkiller. It's the morphine.
Oh, this is the morphine.
Yes.
So let me just.
You look lovely.
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you.
Thank you.
When is the doctor coming up? Do you know?
No, I don't have any idea.
He needs to come up. I need the information.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll follow up again.
If he goes off duty without providing the information, before he goes off duty, he needs to tell you.
He'll gonna be here overnight.
What?
He's
here overnight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until 8 in the morning.
Okay, well, he needs to come up and tell me, because I need to know why
Yeah.
they were supposed to have sent my records to Mr. Stott at midday, and they've still not gone, and it's now 6:25.
Yeah, 6:25.
Okay?
Yeah. Thank you for
Thank you, my
understanding.
love. Thank you so much. God bless.
Sorry. Oh. Thank you. You want to sit? No?
Yes. So, you will have seen they've just given me morphine and whatever else. Oh, blood thinner, because I can't move. And since I can't move, they're worried about me getting, whatever. But of course, not so worried as to get me out of here in a timely manner, which they could have done and should have done. I should have been out of here today. But I'm still here. I'm still here, and I'm still immobile. I mean, and not only is this is the sort of thing that's happening, but other things have happened that really shouldn't. To be dead graphic, they had to catheterize me last night. So this morning, the nice nurse very proudly told me that they had extracted a litre of fluid from the catheter bag. Whoever it was, I don't remember. So many people coming in and out, and so much has been going on today, I have to tell you, with just me and everybody else whom I know trying to get me out of here, and the system quite determined to keep me here. So anyway, they put on back the catheter bag, and they put it on in such a way that the fluid could not empty into the bag. So I having a catheter that couldn't clear itself. So it was backing up in my system. And I thought, why do I feel like this? And I got them to check the bag. Bag didn't have a thing in it. My son and his wonderful girlfriend, they figured out how to solve the problem. One of the nurses came. He wanted me to have a scan. A scan. I said, I don't need a scan. I said, it's obvious if there's fluid in the drain, but not in the catheter bag, it means that the bag isn't getting the fluid. I mean, is that rocket science? I don't think it is. It's sort of obvious. Then I have the insurance people telling me that they have to establish that the break of my pelvis, which could take days to investigate, has to be investigated by them, and there has to be a delay before they can possibly agree to the surgery done privately, because there might have been a pre-existing condition, the pre-existing condition being that I already had a broken pelvis, when I clearly didn't. I have to tell you, practically everyone one runs across in certain spheres is as crooked as a corkscrew, or as uncooperative as possible, and quite determined to do everything they can to keep their hand forcefully in your pocket and your hand out of theirs. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Jordan Kaiser says, you should be well compensated for the pain and suffering you are experiencing. Several exclamation marks. Well, it all depends on how people behave. If people behave well, they are rewarded. If people behave badly, they are also rewarded. They're just not rewarded in the way that they would find enjoyable. So, but certainly the pain is so excruciating that, and none of this should have happened. It absolutely shouldn't have happened, because the eye is tricked by the decor of the room. So you actually look and think, because it's black on black, you look and think that it's a level surface, when there is a 12 to 15, maybe even 18-inch difference between one surface and the other. And there isn't even an additional step. I mean, I think steps are about 6 inches, aren't they? But steps are not 12 to 18 inches. So none of it should have happened. And I mean, it wouldn't have happened if I had been aware of the fact, which quite frankly, the venue had a duty of care to let us know that there was this huge precipice, really. But they didn't. You know, normally you go into a darkened theatre, they have an attendant shining a torch. Nobody shone anything. Nobody. And anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm keeping all my options open because it's whatever. This certainly is something I have no responsibility for, because I actually, as you enter a room, you look to acclimatize yourself with the room, don't you? You know, you don't sort of just blindly walk in. And in fact, had I been blindly walking in, it wouldn't have happened, because I would have tripped over the person whose legs were extended out from his chair, and I would have stepped over his chair, so it wouldn't have happened. It's that I tried to circumvent his legs and didn't realize that there was this huge falling off. Alice says, "Dear Lady Colin Campbell, I have a hypothesis that Meghan Markle went on Oprah because Queen Elizabeth was issuing letters patent to deny Harry and Meghan's children of titles. I don't believe this was intended as a vengeful move by the Queen. Rather, what is the purpose of American-raised children having British titles? My basis is the timing. In February 2021, Harry and Meghan were at the final stage of their 1-year review of the Sandringham Agreement. I would think discussions were underway as to what the full and final agreement would have been once it was announced they would not be returning to the royal family. We may not want to give Meghan credit for intelligence, so I do. She's conniving to the nth degree. As I was saying. But Meghan knew her children would receive titles once King Charles ascended to the throne. However, Queen Elizabeth could intervene by issuing letters patent prior to the law taking effect. The interview gave Meghan, an American, the perfect opportunity to feign ignorance. Americans would not understand it, and the American Black Lives Matter movement at the time provided a perfect backdrop for this lie. I believe she knew the truth. What better way, the only way, to stop the issuance of letters patent than by publicly announcing racism against her children? Very interesting hypothesis, that. Very interesting. Alice, very interesting. Nobody has actually suggested that before, and your timing is impeccable, actually. Meghan is very good at stymieing people. Sorry. She tried to stymie the Queen when she announced their departure, Brexit, without the Queen's knowledge or consent. So she knew what she was doing there. Would she have done it in this instance as well? Why not? I think it's a very interesting hypothesis. it explains why the royal family was accused of racism when both she and Harry knew it wasn't true. It's a very interesting hypothesis, as I've said. I cannot pick a hole in that argument. Maybe the Queen had no intention of issuing letters patent. That's a possibility, but Meghan was worried that she would. And so Meghan decided to trump her. I'm Rachel Zane, slap him once, slap him twice, slap him again. I'm so modest. I'm so demure. I think it's a wonderful hypothesis. Thank you for that. Sandy Johnson says, Andrew is taking the fall for a lot of things, so people will not pay attention. You're absolutely right. I hate to see people being hounded beyond justice. I have nothing against people being hounded to justice, but I certainly don't like seeing people hounded beyond justice. And I'm not sure that anybody in their right mind would be able to say that it's absolutely extraordinary that the only fall guy in all of this, the only male fall guy, has been the one male fall guy who was not accused of committing a crime, because by Virginia Giuffre's own admission, Andrew did not commit a crime. That was her admission. I know people don't like to hear it, but that's the reality. Other people who committed crimes have got away with it. According to Virginia Giuffre, if you can believe what she was saying. And I have to say, I have a very open mind on many of her claims. Ehud Barak was definitely guilty of a crime. And they're coming for my dinner. And thank you, my love. Thank you. And according to Virginia Giuffre, Bill Clinton committed the crime of ape with an R in front of it. So I just leave you with those thoughts for what they're worth. Diana B. says, the monarchy is in danger. The UK is in danger. Communism is beckoning. I hope that I don't live to see it, but it's inevitable unless a sea change happens. Well, I can well see where you're coming from with that comment. I certainly think we are entering into a far more totalitarian age, and certainly this government is extremely socialistic. So whether you call it communism or not, there's definitely socialism at play. This government is trying to do everything in its power to soak the rich, and they don't understand that soaking the rich soaks the poor as well, because when rich people don't have any money, poor people don't have any money either. Money needs to come from somewhere, and unless you're going to print money, which many governments have been doing, and pretend that that's real money, but that's the way to inflation. Somebody needs to make the money. Somebody needs to be productive. Somebody needs to benefit from the money. And I'm afraid we are all sufficiently selfish that very few of us want to work and break our necks so that everybody else can benefit as much as we do. And in fact, maybe people will benefit even more than we do. I'm afraid I don't think that's how life works. People want to enjoy the fruit of their labor. That's my take on it. So, and on that note, I'll say thank you very much for listening. I hope this has been of some interest to you. If it has, please let me know what you'd like us to be speaking about, because there's nothing wrong with my brain or head, even if there's something wrong with my body. And I intend to do these videos for as long as I can. So Godspeed, take good care. And if you have truly enjoyed this, would you care to like, share, subscribe, press the notification bell, and whatever the other thing was. I forget what it was. Oh, I can't remember. Something where you boost it, but I can't remember. Sorry, it's very inefficient of me. I'll blame it on the morphine, even though it's not the morphine's fault, but that's my cop-out. Godspeed. Bye-bye.